prepare for the epic tale of Genesis 14. Witness the bond of the beloved and I.
When Amraphel was king of Shinar, and Arioch king of Elasar, and Chedorlaomer enshriner of Elam, and Tidal Sofar. The king of the Goyim, they made war with Bera, king of Sodom, Birsha, king in Gomorrah stray, Shinab of Adma, Shemeber, king of Zeboim, and the fair king of Bela, that is Zor. All these join battle in the vale of Siddim, where now salts prevail. 12 years they served, and in the year 13 they shed Chedorlaomer. The next year Chedorlaomer came, and the kings with him just the same, attacking the Rephaim there in Ashtoreth Karnaim, where the Zuzim had gathered in Ham, the Emim too, and without Sham in Shaveth Kiriathaim 6, and the Horis in their mountain stand. Of Seir down to El Paran, beside the wilderness began their way back there by En Mishpat, that is Kadesh, and then fell flat on all the land of Amalek, and then subdued the stubborn neck of all the Amorites, whose fire was lit in haze on Tamar. The kings who seek a tribute and their taxes form coalitions, allied powers and axis, and go to war to help democracy. They cross the deserts and the rolling sea to ferret out of mountain wilderness the people whose wealth they truly confess should be their own. I stand on Seir and gaze across miles of uninhabited maze of oak and maple, and think what will come of this campaign, or that for centuries the same. The generations die, life flees to dandelion holes to reappear as soon as danger's past, and without fear, beloved, to raise a golden head and hum. And kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, the king of Admah without Torah, the kings of Zeboim and Bela, that is Zor, to the last fellow went out and gathered for the battle in Vale of Siddim, like drawn cattle against Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, Tidal also king of the Goyim, Amraphel king of Shinar, and Arioch the king of Elasar. 4 kings to 5, now the valley of Siddim's drive was full of asphalt pits, and so when Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some fell there, others had to go into the mountains. Then they took the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, all their provisions. Then they shook their heels as though off to Andorra, and they took Abram's brother's son, Lot, who lived in Sodom for fun, and his goods, and left on the road. There are but 2 great sources of what men desire, beloved, and these are labor and the goods the laborer produces. Then, as now I see the president's command, war to procure the wealth of those who make, and what they make for earth and heaven's sake. And so they took the people and the goods from Sodom and Gomorrah, left the woods and valleys well provided. The best way avoiding such attack is not to stay, to make or have, but sink in poverty, and live on water and on acorns free to all. no pollution sink the world from where it stands upon the brink. Then one who had escaped came by and told Abram the Hebrew why. For he lived by the terebinth, trees of Mamre the Abrahams. Abraham was surely the Shites, brother of Aner, Colosinth. They were to each other allies with Abram. Now with such good time, when Abram heard his relative was taken captive, as I live, he armed 318 trained men born in his own demeasures, and pursuing up to Dan with every faithful partisan. The art of war was forged in secret by your faithful Abraham, who with the cry of 318 warriors could without bloodshed rout armies that withstood 5 kings and more. Beloved, let me take up the battle for the King of Salem's cup. Whether there be 300 here or more, I join in arms, the sword of tongue in store, throat swelling with the cantillation of your exquisite name spoken here in love. The martial arts you taught to David finds its roots in Abraham, as all that binds its vast engagements meet from breath to breathe and fearlessly go onward into die. At night he separated all his forces and then gave the call to attack and pursue them to Hobah, north of Damascus view. So he brought back both all the goods, his brother Lot, also his goods, the women and the people too. The king of Sodom went straight out to meet him at the valley of Shaleh, King's Valley, without doubt. When he came back from defeat of Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him, king of Salem too, Melchizedek, and with both bread and grape juice, let it thus be said, no proof of alcohol is nigh, and he was priest of God Most High. And he blessed him and said, blessed be Abram of God Most High, and he possesses heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who gave you rest and victory from enemies. So he gave him a portion's hest. A funny thing it seems to be that your command that every man should bless the store of Abraham went round the world and sank into the consciousness and habits rank and file. At least Melchizedek came out, and first of all blessed Abraham, no doubt. He knew his own worth and survival meant that he acknowledged the one man you sent. Beloved, I took to bless Abraham today, though I live here millennia away. The eye upon the past is not mere folly, inertia, but the second sight, by golly, and second eye that gives depth to my seeing beyond the flat and clutter of worlds being. Now King of Sodom said to him, to Abram, since the times were grim, give me the persons, take the goods. For yourself, I'm out of the woods. But Abram said to King of Sodom, I've raised my hands, we are, don't prod 'em, to God Most High, the one who holds both heaven and earth, and who beholds that I will take nothing from you, not thread, nor strap, nor sandal shoe, lest you should say, Abram got rich when I and mine fell in the ditch, except just what the men have eaten, and those who went with me unbeaten, Eshcol and Mamre and Aner, let those three men take all their share. Of the war is in the hand, at the discretion by the Lord's command of your appointed to do as he will. Your Abraham had rights to all, and still he gave the wicked Sodom all his own, and to his allies just shares, not alone. No friend relinquished all rights to the store of wealth, that no one might find grief or dole. To criticize or gloat, there is but one of true wealth. When the longer battle's done, beloved, you are possessor of both earth and heaven. The mighty God, no thing of worth escapes your hand, or knowing who created. All worlds here, and for you all things were fated.